Hi everyone, it's Catherine here at Cat v Stitches. Welcome to my tiny little corner of the FlossTube world. To any returning viewers, hi, welcome back. And to any new subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing. And to any newbies who have just turned up because this has randomly appeared in your YouTube list, hi, welcome. If you do like what you see, please do give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. I'm sorry, I have a cat here. So anyway, yes, I'm back. It has been about a month since my last FlossTube. It is Wednesday the 5th of October. And I thought I would do this today because I know this weekend I'm not going to have a chance to do it, and neither will I next weekend. So I've actually been off work for the last 3 days. So I thought, you know what, get it done today, then it's done and dusted, and I can, I can just carry on for the next month. Before I do go any further, actually, I just want to thank everybody who left a comment after my last video. I was a bit stressed, shall we say, during my last video, and I kind of went into a little bit of it at the end in my life update, and the comments I got were all absolutely wonderful, very supportive, and I know it did take me a couple of weeks to get back, but please know that they were read as soon as I received them. It was just, it's been a month. I'm not going to go into it other than a few little amusing incidents that have also occurred, but please know that everything that was said, all the comments, were greatly appreciated. They really, really did make me feel a lot better, and the support I always get from everybody who comments, it's amazing, and it's one of the reasons why I do continue doing these videos, because that communication I have with you means the world to me. So just like get that out of the way before I jump into anything else. But yes, again, thank you, much appreciated. Okay, so I have my list here. What to start off with? Tell you what, it's October. It is autumn. Two of my favourite things. Favourite season, favourite month. So what I thought I would do is show you the cricket collection pieces I have for this particular time, because I've actually got my autumn one, which is one of my favourites. I just absolutely love it. I'm not in love so much with the finish because it's one that I did right at the start of my career, but you know what, I don't care, it's still, I love it. So there's autumn. On this one, all the letters I swapped out. This is one of the rare times I've ever done this, but I'm glad I did do it. I swapped out the called for DMCs for a variety of, I think it's Classic Colourworks and Weeks. I say I swapped out. What I did was go down to, who was it? It was Create Nostalgia, and basically say to them, these are the colours, can you pick comparable colours from the from Fancy Floss, and she very kindly did, and worked out lovely. Absolutely love it. So there's autumn, and then now this is the very first cricket collection month one I did, and that's October. Incredibly cool. I swapped out some of the colours on this as well, just for the corresponding étoile. So the purple and the skeleton and the moon, all of that is using, it's either blank or okay, so I am filming, God, that's so embarrassing. I'm filming in my bedroom again because it's just a lot easier to film up here at the moment with the dog. Sorry, I have a dog. For any new viewers, I've got a golden retriever. Well, she is still a puppy. She's just over 6 months old now. and she's still in that rambunctious stage, which I know she'll always be, but at the moment she's especially exuberant, especially when I'm home. So it's easier to bribe her with a bone downstairs and video up here surrounded by my cats. But my window is just there and the road outside is quite busy, and a double-decker bus was just went past and had stopped at some lights, and there was a bloke sat there just staring in. So I don't know how long he'd been there, well, for however long the lights were on red, but that was a wee bit embarrassing. So, excuse me while I just get a quick drink. But yeah, the bus has moved on now, so. Anywho, yeah, so those are my two cricket collections that'll be up. Well, one will be up for all of autumn and the other one will be up in September. But that also moves me on to my one finish of the month. Yay, I have a finish, and it's a totally unexpected finish. But this last month I've literally just been stitching what I want, when I want, and if that meant I stitched 5 days on something or 1 day on something, then whatever. I did start the year doing whip go, but it kind of fell out the window. It kind of fell by the wayside with everything that had been going on, and I wasn't putting any pressure on myself to get back into it. You know, as we all say, this is a hobby, but sometimes you can forget that, can't you? But yeah, so I'm not really doing whip go again this year. I think I will start it again next year, but I'll be a little easier on myself and, you know, pick easier targets. But anyway, what this meant is I had Cricket Collection September that I had started. Now, initially I was piling a ton of pressure on myself to get it done for the start of September, or get it done in September so I could at least get it up on my wall. I decided that was ridiculous, because September, I don't know if anybody figures this out straight away, but September, as opposed, when you count the number of letters in it, is actually the longest month. It's got 9 letters in, and they, you know, their Cricket Collection ones are fiddly. There's loads of different colours, some of them with just 1 or 2 stitches in. All look amazing, but it was going to take a while, and to be honest, it has taken quite a few days. But I just got into it and then just couldn't stop. And it's not fully finished, so it's not an FFO, but it is finished, and I love it. So there you go. There is, can I get it in? Yeah, I can get it in there. There is September with the button. So this is a black cat, a sunflower, birdhouse, and one of my cats, and a stack of books there. So sorry, I can't see what I'm doing here, so if I just bring that in closer for you. So this is all the called for colours. There you go. I have, and this here, this little fox there is literally my favourite thing in the entire thing. How absolutely cute is that fox? Stunning. Love it. I've laced this up, so when I do finally decide what material I want to put on the backing board, that can be done, but there's no rush, because obviously I've got a year now until this goes up. But I'm so pleased with that. It's, oh, I love it. So there is September, and like I said, that's all the called for colours. Oh, the black, however, in the birds, I use sulky black for that too. This is 28 count raw Swigart, and I use 2 strands of sulky in the black for the birds because it just really pops. Because this is 28 count, it can take the 2 strands, but yeah, absolutely love it. Sorry, I'm just I just look at it, I just keep looking at it because yeah, I'm glad it's done anyway, and I'll give myself a couple of weeks break and then I'll move on to the next month. I'm not quite sure yet what month I'm going to do, because I've already got October, so November would be the next one. But I'm then thinking, well, if I maybe skip November and December and start with January, I've got a chance of getting January done before January starts, and then I can start doing it that way. So I've not decided yet. A part of me just wants to get the next 2 out the way. That's November and December, because they're the next 2 longest months. So they're 8 letters, and then everything else is a lot. So not yet decided, but I've got September done. Really pleased with that. Love it. I've got a year in which to decide how to fully finish it. But anyway, yeah, very happy with that. So, next things that I've worked on. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 things that I've touched on in the last month. I'm not going to be throwing up before and after pictures, because I can't at the moment. It's just, I want this to be as enjoyable and stress-free as possible, and at the moment it's just such a miver inserting the pictures and things like that, so please do forgive me, but I'm not going to be inserting before and after pictures. I can show you what I've worked on. So this is the drawn thread Sunnyside sampler. It is going to look like, pardon the crinkle, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. There we go, see that? Yep, sorry about the glare. And this is, and I've been working on this house here. So this is where we are now. This is on, I think this is 30, sorry, one second, this is 30 count natural Swigart. Again, pretty much the call for threads, because I've done a couple of these drawn threads and they all kind of use the same dinky dyes and NPI, so I've just kind of used the same ones on all of them. I know I've said this a number of times, the lettering is in the wrong colour green, but at the moment I'm going to wait until I've finished it all and then decide if I like the colour of it. But I also did that sun, finished off that greyish house there and then moved on to the green one. There we go, and that's coming along nicely. I think I've only got, when it comes to houses, I finish off that and I've just got you can see that here, and I've just got these 2 at the end there, and then I'll just do all the lettering. But I enjoy this because I like doing houses. It's just really easy stitching. So this is one really that I could finish soon if I put my mind to it, and I might on that one, and then I can move on to the next drawn thread one. Okay, so that's that one. Next one I worked on, so this is Lindy Stitches Mary Mary. This is the one with the ginormous apron on that it took me, oh sorry, 2 of my cats are having a set to down there. This is the one with that ginormous apron or skirt there. That took me absolutely ages to finish. Holy crap, that took forever. But I persevered and eventually did it. I started this towards the beginning of my stitching career, and did this in 28 count because initially that's all I stitched on. So that meant that was a lot of stitching. Sorry, there's the dog. 1 second. Poochie! She should quieten down in a minute. I can't believe she's got through that bone already. That was a huge thing. Right, so I'm doing this on just a Swigart pink fabric. Okay, where is it? Oh, I thought I'd lost the actual piece then. And what I've done is I have done the boots, finished the boots, and I have started, sorry, on that spool there. Now, that cotton spool at the bottom there, it does not look like it looks in that picture. That was done by fussy cutting the thread, I can tell you that for starters. I was not fussy cutting it. I was going to do individual X's to get the maximum amount of variegation out of it, because it's using this lovely, let me just find it. using this. It is Weeks Dye Works Peach Cobbler. So as you can see, it's very variegated through peach to white. I couldn't be bothered doing fussy cutting with it, and you know what? I like the way it looks, so I'm happy with it. I really do like that variegation in it, so I'm happy with it. Well, yeah, so the boots and the spool at the bottom there, what I've worked on here. Okay, let me just put this down here. Hopefully she's calmed down now. She can get out into the garden, so if she needs to go out there. Okay, next one is Teresa Colgate, Oh My Soul. Let me just bring up a picture for this one. Won't be a second. I've not got this printed off. This is a PDF version. There we go. So there we go. That is what it will look like when it is done. I just love this. This one just called to me. It's full coverage. I'm doing it on 32 count, just a Swigart 32 count. I think it's natural again. And I have, right, it looks a bit freaky. I've been working on the face and the halo and filling in some of the background, but yeah, it just looks a bit freaky at the moment. There we go. So I have completed this eye here, so you can kind of see how it's going to look, and in real life it does look really good, that eye, but obviously at the moment it just looks like some demonic doll face. So yeah. When I come back to this, I'm going to just work on completing that face, because I don't want demonic doll to be looking back at me every time I pick this one up. But yeah. So this is all just DMC. And this, again, it's a very easy stitch. I just put it on. I don't think it's on Pattern Keeper, but I've got it on my iPad on Good Notes, so it's easy to keep track of. That's that one. Okay, next one is the Witchy Stitcher Supernatural. Do I have a picture for this? This is a stitch along, so this comes out every Friday. I did her first one, which was the cryptid ones, and I kept up to date on that, but to my regret I didn't keep up to date on this one. But again, I'm not going to be too hard on myself on that. I don't actually know if I have a picture of it all in what it looks like at the moment. I've just got, no, I don't think I do, but I'll show you what I've done anyway. What I'd initially done is just all the black. I'd just done the border and some of the frames for the little monsters. So I'd done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've done 6 of them when I saw you when I showed this last, and I've done another one, and I've started filling in the colour on it. So there you go. So as I did with Cryptid, I am replacing some of the accent colours, so like the red, stuff like that, with the matching étoile, or as close to the matching étoile. And that moon on the werewolf, I know you can't really see it in this light, but that moon on the werewolf is also étoile. So, and this is on 28 count Picture This Plus Valor, which is the same material, and in fact this is the same, it was all on one big, I think, was it a fat half or something like that I bought? Whatever the correct terminology of it is, I got a big piece of it, and half of it went on Cryptid, and then luckily enough this fit on the other half. So yeah, so this forms part of my plans for October. I'm going to do some more stitching on this. I don't think I'll catch up, but I'm going to do enough that I'm not just going to get fed up with it and put it to one side and not touch it again. So as you can see, I have done, that's my stomach muscles in use there. I have done the black of the border, but I still have to fill in all the moons and that go around it. I'm going to have to probably do them in hand because I use a Q-snap, and it's a bit, there was barely enough border, so it's difficult to stitch on the moons and that in a Q-snap, so I might have to do all of them in hand. But yeah, really like that. I love this zombie one, all the different colour red etoile. I think I used 3 different colours on it. So like I said, in real life it pops. Okay. Okay, next 2 are 2 new starts. First one in one of my new Not Enough, no, this is Patchwork Paw Print who do these. I have many of her bags because I absolutely love them. Amazing work. Right, okay, so this is the Moons of 2022, which I am just going to rename the Moons or the Full Moons because they'll be the same in 2023. And I think in other years as well they'll be the same. But I love this piece. I struggled with the fabric on here because I was initially going to do this on 32 count Picture This Plus truffle. And I was also, as a birthday present, my parents gave me some money and I put in the rest. I decided, because I wanted this up as a long-term one, I wanted to do it using the MPI silks. I mean, there's a DMC conversion, but I wanted to do it on the MPI because I love working with MPI silk. But I don't often do it because it is so bloody expensive. But I started work, in fact I'll show you, I think I've got it. Yeah, I started work on it. There, I did one. So this top border is like nearly 70 stitches. So I started work on this lovely material, and that one column there took up a full length, a full 2 strands, and I was like, oh my god. And I use long strands because, you know, like I like to play fast and loose and, you know, get knots. But I was like, this is going to take so much of the silk. And in fact it says on here that using 1 strand, she writes out here, blah 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 blah, three skeins of the blue would be needed, and that's using 1 strand of it. So for 2 it'd just be, and on 32 count it would just be so much. So although I love this fabric, and I'll be discussing this further in a little bit, I figured that I couldn't do it on that. I'd need to do it 1 strand, and for me that would mean it would have to be 40 count. So luckily enough I happen to have some lovely 40 count fabric that I had initially going to be using for my restart of Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow, another Kathy Barrack one, or Carriage House sampling, sorry, and well, she was part of it, but you know what I mean. And it's this from XU Designs. It's called Little Grey Dove or something like that, and it's this lovely, it's like this greyish mottling. I know that's not really coming through that well here, a little bit, but it is lovely. It's a 40 count, and I unpicked what I had done, and it was on this corner here that I'd done, and you can't even tell I'd unpicked it. So because I got I got a toothbrush, basically a soft toothbrush, and rubbed it over it gently to get rid of any residue of the black thread that had been there, and you can't even tell. And it's now using 1 strand. The coverage is great. I know it's only a tiny start, but it's a start. So that is the Moons, or the Full Moons, or the Moons of 2022. And this again is in, oh, I've already said about the bag, but yeah, so that's my start on that. There's a glorious threads. Okay. Right. Last one, my last new start was another Lindy Stitches actually. This is her one of her latest release. I think she released it at Expo. I need to bring up the picture for this. It's called Bury Me With My Needle, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. There you go. Great. It says, "Bury me with my needle, some linen in my hand, for I would not be idle when I reach the promised land." And it's just my aesthetic. Bit of macabre in there. Absolutely love it. So I am using for this Picture This Plus 32 count Eek. It's in a Q snap because I was stitching on it yesterday. I'm using the Call For threads, which is a mixture of DMC and these lovely, lovely vibrant dinky dyes. Now that's a bit blue. It's not that blue. But I have started on this. And the colours just really pop on this Eek by Picture This Plus, so I'm very happy with that material choice. And there's my start. Okay, so those are my whips. Very happy stitching on them. So now, oh God, the cats. Come here. Sasha says hello. There you go. Yep. Right, so next. Let's see what's next. Purchases. There have been some purchases. First one is one I got from, it's an Etsy one, a download, so I will just find it. Won't be 1 second. Now, every now and then, a sampler just really, really catches my eye. And this particular one is, and it's normally another FlossTuber that does it to me. I can't quite remember who it was I saw doing this. I think it might have been Elena Elliwelly Stitches. I think it may not have been, but it may. I can't remember where it is I saw it, but I know I saw it, and I've been watching a lot of Elena Elliwelly Stitches, but love her FlossTubes. But I saw this, it's Northumberland Sampler House, and this is 1A 1812, a reproduction antique sampler. And I think it's just those colours and those amazing birds and the motifs at the bottom there. I just absolutely love this. When I'm going to do it, I don't know, but I fell in love with it. So that's the first of my purchases. So that I said I got that from them directly, Northumberland Sampler House, and got that from their Etsy store. I also saw this one on Instagram, somebody was stitching on it. It's Buffy threads, Kings and Queens, and I wonder if you can figure out why I suddenly decided to buy this. To be honest, I would have got this even without the recent events, because I love history. I did history at school and university. I read, anybody who is into history, historian Dan Jones has several books about medieval history, and he reads them himself, because I do a lot of Audible stuff now, and his books are just so good, so good. I've read about 4 of them now, all about medieval history, all the different, not just England. He covers a lot of the European monarchs through the history, and he doesn't gloss over the bad stuff, and they're just so good. So I've been obsessed with it over the past couple of months. So when I saw this on Instagram, somebody was working on this, I was like, right, yeah, I'm going to get that. Again, don't quite know when I'm going to start it, but I thought this would be good to have in there to reach, because these will be like, you know, tiny little, you know, well, not tiny, but they're, you can have little wins on this, can't you, every time you finish one. But yes, that's that one. And then, because I am obsessed, I obviously got some Cricket Collection patterns from Create Nostalgia. They seem to be my enablers. I just went on there for some dinky dye I needed for my Lindy Stitches one, because you need several skeins of the black for that, and just happened to type in Cricket Collection and saw these. So this is, well, it's called Trick or Treat, and I just loved that that one at the top. Let me just take it out of this plastic actually so you can see it a bit better. There we go. I just love that Trick or Treat at the top. I may start this soon, I'm not sure, but it's Trick or Treat. Then I've got Spring Fleece, because I'm obsessed with sheep at the moment. Don't know why. And then this one, which I think this will be another nice summer one for me for August. This is A Summer Place. And also I love stitching on houses. So it says, here is the promise of summers to be. Here is the promise of summers to be. There you go. And then this is November. I can't remember if I saw this, if I showed you this before, but this is the November one. And I really, really like this. So actually looking at it now, I may ultimately do this one next, but there we go. There's November. Just love the motifs. Look at that turkey there. So funny. Yeah, there we go. November. And of course some houses on there. And again, you know how much I loved stitching houses. Funny thing is I got this and then suddenly realised I already had this because I'm an idiot. And then the dog got hold of this and chewed it up a little bit. So maybe it's a good job I've got it. I've already got it. And then Laurel Bunch. It's a Mill Hill one. A dog and a cat, which I thought was apt. Okay. Those, I think, are all my purchases. Oh no, there was... Right, okay. So this kind of ties in with life update as well. I am part of Fabric of the Month with Chromatic Alchemy. I've never been in a Fabric of the Month, and I love her material. I got one from her called Sea Witch that I did my what I've done a piece on, and it looks absolutely stunning. And so you know, when she emailed me to say she had some spaces if I wanted to come in it, I was like, yes please. So I'm on it for 32 count linen, and I got the first one the other a month or so ago, and it's this stunning one called Saturine, and it is, let me just get it out, it is this, it is just, oh. There we go, absolutely stunning. There we go. Like I said, it's 32 count. It's a bit dark. It's this camera in this light seems to be making the blues a little bit lighter than they actually are, but this is just absolutely stunning. So this was the first one I got. And then the second one I got. So I need to explain a little bit about the layout of the front of my house. So I have the front door. Then I have a small little vestibule area, and then the inner front door. So what used to happen is my front door would before I moved into this, the front door would open into the lounge. It's a terraced house, front door opens into the lounge. yeah, opens into the lounge. Some people had put a small vestibule on. The woman who lived in my house, she put a small vestibule on and then built a wall so you get a hallway. Then there's a door that goes into the lounge, so you don't open up directly into the lounge, which is great. I hate it when it goes directly into the lounge. So I've recently moved my dog around a little bit. Cut a long story short, basically, so the cats can get out easily when I'm not in. So the dog is now, there's a child gate. My friend says my house is like the Krypton factor now because I've got 2 child gates. But anyway, not important. So one of the child gate basically is at the end of this hallway. So she has that hallway and the lounge. And when I'm not here, she just pops herself either on the sofa, which has got a big cover on, or she'll just lie down in the hallway, and she's as good as gold. I've got my baby cam so I can see what's going on, and she's absolutely fine. However, when the postman comes and he, puts something through the letterbox, I have to make sure that that vestibule door is shut, because as with most dogs, and especially golden retrievers, if she sees paper, if she sees anything on the floor, she's got to have it in her mouth and she's got to chew on it and blah blah blah. So that's why November got a bit chewed up, and various other things have got chewed up. But normally I'm good when I leave for the day. I'll make sure the vestibule door is shut and then I'll go out the front door. But on this one day, I forgot to do that, and it was the day that my material from Chromatic Alchemy turned up. And I got home, realised the vestibule door had been left open, and then got in the lounge and saw what she'd done. Look at this lovely colour. It's this lovely pink. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a lovely pink with massive great big holes in it. Not just a hole at the corner, which I could have dealt with, but a hole slap bang in the sodding middle. Look at that. So I could possibly do some smalls on this, so it's not, it's not completely wasted. I can do things on it. It's a 32 count, so there will be things I can do on it, but I could have cried because I'd actually wanted to use this on Prairie Moon pattern that I was going to start, and when I saw it I was like, oh, my own fault. She's a puppy. This would have been like heaven for her. I should have shut the bloody vestibule door, and you can bloody bet that I triple check now that it's shut before I go anywhere. But anyway, those are my 2 lovely things I've got from Chromatic Alchemy. Right, so plans anyway for October. My favourite month, with my favourite holiday, Halloween. This month I'm just going to stitch on Halloweeny type patterns, so that means I'm going to stitch some more on my Martini Witches, which I'm currently, you would have seen this in the last video. I have a bit of a start on one of the witches. So this is on 28 count Haunted by Picture This Plus. I've done a couple of these now, all using the same material. So that's one I'm going to stitch on. Then I have 2 Cricut collections, because obviously they are Skeleton Crew and Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow I'm doing in a triptych like this, but I'm currently working on the middle one. Actually, I've got Skeleton Crew first of all. This has been done on 28 count, and this is on Valor. Again, the same one I'm doing the Supernatural one on. There's where I'm up to on that. And this is on 28 count on fabric that I dyed myself. There's what I've done on Sleepy Hollow. So I plan on working on these. Possibly work on my, I've got Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I've not brought that up. Great. And I've not brought that up. That's Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I'm going to probably work on the Great Pumpkin Conspiracy. This is one of my newer starts. Cricket collection OFs. And this is on this amazing fabric from Kaylee Tent Stitch. Her shop is called The Sewing Shop. She does stunning fabric, and this piece, you can't really see it here because of the light, but it's a stunning piece, and that's where I am on that. And then, even though in my last video I said I probably wasn't going to start this till next year, I may start on my Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow, because I finally think I've cracked the fabric on my third attempt. I got some murky, 40 count murky, picture this plus, and I think I finally cracked the fabric I want to use on it. So it's really like atmospheric. This is a really good mix of the light and the dark, so I think this is just going to be perfect for it. So potentially I may start on it, but if I do, I think what I might do is just do all the frames on it, so get all the black stitching out the way. So just as a quick reminder, this is what it looks like. So I think I might just go around and do all the, you know, the frames on them, so at least it's got a start. So that's my plans. Oh no, sorry, there's one more before I forget. So there's another potential new start, and this is that Prairie Moon one that I was talking about. It's not in the Crit Club, which is the series that the Martini Stitches is on. This is, let me just find it. This is a different one. I don't mind showing you the top of my head today because I've only just had the colour done, so there's no grey there at the moment. So this is it, the house that Jack's built 2. So potentially I'm going to start that if I can decide on the fabric. So I have 2 choices. I have this truffle one, which is what I was going to do the new moons on. It's darker than, I'm so sorry, the light is terrible here at the moment, because it's either really nice sunlight from there or grey because we're just getting rain. So there's this truffle from Picture This Plus. It is more mottled than you can kind of see it there. So there we go, truffle from Picture This Plus, or the one from Chromatic Alchemy. I was thinking of doing this in blacks and reds, some nice contrasting colours. So Old Crow and Tulip from Classic Colourworks. But I don't know if the black is going to show up enough on that dark, because remember this is blowing this out a little bit. This is looking a lot lighter on this camera than it is in real life. It is a lot darker, so I'm not sure. Obviously on this, you know, they'll all pop nicely, but I don't know. I've not yet decided. Potentially I was going to use this and do it all in black, but obviously I can't do that anymore. But yeah, that is a possible start for October as well. So those are my plans for this month. Life update. Oh, was there anything else before I move on? Anything? Oh, I know what I did. What I was going to show you. Went to the opticians yesterday, and on my way to said opticians, I love going to the opticians because it's a nice reminder that I'm getting older and my eyes are really getting older. So I've had to fork out a ton on new glasses, and because I don't want to look like I'm wearing milk bottles, I've had to fork out even more to get the lenses thinned, but never mind about that. But on the way to the opticians, there was a stall set up in the shopping centre that was selling jewellery, and oh, they've got all tied up together. There we go. So it's like stones like amethyst and things like that. So I saw these two. So that's one of those, I think it's like a tree of life thing there. Gorgeous. That. And I'm wearing one here. So I saw them, and the ring I've got on. So I saw them and just was like, yeah, I'm coming back here once I've been depressed by the optician. So yeah. Anywho, moving on. We're coming at 45 minutes. This is a quick one for me. So I'm trying to stop the cat from stepping on. There we go. September again. I've just got a mass pile of crap by the side of me here, and the cat's going, ha, I'll get my claws in that. Life. I'm not going to go into a big thing about work. I've had the last 3 days off. I've been able to get a ton of things done. I'm trying to get myself a bit more organised, and so I've got a book now where I'm literally writing down the tasks that need to be done over the next few days, just so I think I like ticking things off. I don't know, I think the act of ticking it off gives me pleasure, even if it's only a small job. I'm writing it down in this book. So even if it's something like change cat litter, I'll write it in there, and then I get a nice little endorphin rush or whatever it is once I've ticked it off, and I feel that I've accomplished something. So that I'm doing that a lot now. So I've actually done quite a bit the last 3 days. Good news is the Essex needle retreat that's next March. That's been organised by Elaine from Ellie Welly Stitches, the lovely Elaine, and Teresa Little Stitcher. I was supposed to go in March of this year, but I had to cancel at the last minute because my cat had just got diagnosed with diabetes and I couldn't get her in anywhere, and it was a whole thing. So I was absolutely gutted that I had to cancel that, but I managed to get in for next year. And in the last 2 weeks I have booked the Cattery and the kennel. The Cattery excuse me, is one that's actually run by a vet and her partner who was a veterinary nurse, so no problems there. As soon as I said, she's diabetic, she's going to need injections twice a day, they were like, yeah, that's not a problem, we deal with anything and everything, so that's fine. So that makes me feel better. So she's booked in, and obviously I booked the kennels for the dog as well, so that's all sorted, and yay, can't wait till March. I was absolutely gutted I had to cancel for the last one, so I'm really looking forward to this, I'm telling you. But talking about the animals, however, they've been, so last weekend, not last weekend, sorry, the weekend before, 3 of my cats, I don't know what they got, I don't know if they picked up a bug from somewhere, I don't know if they ate something out of the house or whatever, but they came down with a stomach bug, and they were being sick, and it was coming out the other end as well. Let's just put it that way. It was not a joy cleaning out the cat litter. And for most cats, that's not a problem. You just, for a few days, even for a day, you just make sure they're drinking water, give them very bland food, blah, blah, blah. But they were off their food. Again, so long as it's only a day or so, for most cats it's not a problem. But one of those cats that was ill just happened to be Tabby, who's my diabetic cat. And that becomes an issue, because if she's not eating, you can't give her insulin. And if you can't give her insulin, so I had to take her to the emergency vets, which was a massive expense. But yeah, there was concern because she had to miss 2 of her injections, but ultimately it wasn't the diabetes that had caused the illness, so it doesn't get covered under the insurance claim. It's a whole thing, but everybody's fine now. They all got their appetites back within 3 to 4 days. It was just a bit nail biting because I had to give her greatly reduced insulin, and you don't know how they're going to react to that. But she's fine now. All the others are fine. So yeah, it was just a bit of a stressed out house for a couple of days there. And then the dog, other than chewing the fabric, now I have to laugh at this one. I'm sorry, the light is absolutely appalling now, but we've almost finished. I really did have to laugh at this because otherwise you'd cry. So I work from both the office and I work from home. So my craft room has doubled up as my office now. And you need, internet connection, and I have Wi-Fi. My router is down in the lounge. My spare room is upstairs, but where my desk is and everything, it's tucked right in the corner of the spare room. And for some reason, in that part of the house, the Wi-Fi is really patchy. I've put a booster on and it doesn't seem to help. And other than getting a brand new router for upstairs, which I really didn't want to have to do because it would just be for that, because I've not got a telly or anything up here, I wanted to avoid doing that. I thought, you know what I'll do is I'll just buy an Ethernet cable and just look ridiculous having a very long Ethernet cable snaking from downstairs to upstairs. But when I'm not using it, I can just roll it back up again. So I've had that, and I've been using that for about a month. And the dog has, obviously while I'm upstairs here and she's down there, she's not even looked at that cable. Apart from when she was a puppy and she chewed a few things, she's not really chewed on cables or anything like that, and she's never even looked at this cable. And then last week I was on the phone to somebody, and I use the phone through my computer. I've got a headset and everything. It's an internet, so I need an internet connection for it. And in the middle of the call, it got cut off, and I was wondering, what's caused this? I got back on the phone with him, and then as I'm talking to him again, it's kind of coming in and out, and that's when I noticed that the little, at the bottom on your laptop, it'll show what kind of connection you got, whether it's Wi-Fi or Ethernet or whatever. I noticed that it wasn't showing the Ethernet connection anymore, the little computer thing. It was showing Wi-Fi, and it was, because it's crappy corner, it wasn't powerful enough to maintain the call. I'm like, what on earth is going on here? I was able to finish the call with the customer, and then started to follow the wire downstairs. She chewed through it, and I was like, oh my god, because it's a weird wire actually. It's not like a wire for a plug or whatever. It's just like flat, and but whatever it is, she's decided to chew through it. So I was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to buy a new one, but this time like pin it up like with the little pins they give you to put it into, run it up your wall and up the and all of that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, this is going to be a faff, but okay. So I bought a new so it's a really long cable. It's 30 meters. And so I bought that, and I had it in the dining room ready to pin up. But I obviously didn't put it far enough away, because she must have the taste for this Ethernet cable now, because she got it off the table and chewed through it again. So that's 2 Ethernet cables she chewed through, and I was like, are you effing kidding me? Again, this one was my fault for putting it right on the edge of the table, where a puppy is going to look at it and think, oh, I enjoyed chewing through this last time. Am I going to enjoy chewing through this one? So I've now had to buy a third one, and as soon as I got it, this morning, it has now been pinned up. So that was another job I could tick from in my to-do book. But yeah, so it's been fun and games, but I say that I wouldn't change it for the world. She's a little ball. She's a ball of destruction, but she's lovely company, and the walks, she forces me out every day to go for walks, and I'm loving them, and it's making me healthier. Stress levels are still high, but that's something that I'm just going to have to manage. I do that BetterHelp thing now, so that's helping with that, but it is what it is. I'm still in a a better position than a lot of people, so I'm trying not to move on from that. I had my little disclosure last week, so I won't go into last month, so I won't go into that again. But yeah, God bless her. At least she can't get at this one now, so it's out of Temptation's way. But I think that's everything. I've just been listening to a lot of Audible stuff, lots of podcasts, you know, watching some stuff in the evening. I've been, Bad Sisters on Apple TV, for anyone who's got Apple TV, is brilliant. Trying to catch up on FlossTube, because I've just not watched it for a while. So, you know, I've been watching Ali Welly Stitcher, like I said, Teresa Little Stitcher I've been watching, My Usual with Michelle Bendy and all of that. So yeah, I think it's going to be another month before I do the next one. Probably the end of October, start of November, I'll do the next one. But hopefully I'll have a bit of progression on those pieces that I've showed. I would like to finish that middle triptych of Sleepy Hollow and get some good progression on Skeleton Crew. So it could be that I just concentrate on them two. I don't know. I'll just stitch on what I stitch on, and you never know, when I show you in a month's time I may have started something completely different. Who knows? But I'm going to leave it there. Once again, thank you to everybody who commented last month, and to anybody who comments at any point. If I take a little bit of time to get back to you, I do apologise, but please do know I read all comments, and I really appreciate every single one. So I will leave it here. The light is appalling now. It's just totally grey and horrible out there. And I'm going to have to... What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to need to give my parents their daily call and then take the dog out for a very wet walk. Luckily, she loves the rain, so we're fine. But yeah, I hope you all have a lovely October. I hope you're all safe and well. For anyone in America who was affected by Hurricane Ian, it was horrendous. I hope you are all safe and well, or as safe and well as you can be. My heart, you know, my love and heart goes out to everybody. And yeah, stay safe and well, and happy stitching, everybody. And I'll see you in a month.